Hey everyone, just got back from Portland, Oregon. Never been. Had a wedding there. It was super great. Not a lot of time for sightseeing or anything, but did manage to get to Canyon Beach. That was really fun and really cool. Took a lot of video. And I just feel like I'm catching up still. No real interesting news. I did, while I was on the trip, I was able to finally get the rest of the issue written. So issue 5 is all written. And I'm already thinking about issue 6, and I think I'm going to do something a little different. Instead of doing, traditionally what I've been doing is an 8-panel grid, I think I'm going to do full page splashes for that entire issue. And I think what I want to do is, weirdly, I was reading Comics Beat the other day, and they were talking about the Silver Surfer graphic album, Judgment Day, and it had the Joe Jusko cover. I remember reading it, but anyways, they were talking about how it felt epic because every page was a full page splash. And I thought, yeah, that's a good idea. And I was trying to figure out how I can make that work. So I'm thinking about it. I'm pretty convinced I can do it. Part of why my lettering grid is the way that it is so that it's very legible on platforms like Instagram. So I think it'll work. I don't know. We'll see. I may abandon this idea, but I thought it might be something different that for issue 6. I'm excited to do it, but it's going to be tricky. It's going to be difficult. I feel like I'm going to be making revisions to this whole sequence down the road, but for now, I think it's an interesting idea. I think it's a good plan, and I'll just try my best. And one of the things I've been telling myself with Patreon is that if it's not perfect, you can revise it before it's released as a graphic novel. So otherwise, I think I figured out, I've got another idea for whatever I'm doing next. And I really want to do a Hulk comic. Kind of ties into, like, I was just thinking about, like, what do you love to draw? And I thought, I love drawing big dudes beating up things. I might do my own version of the Hulk. I don't know. Again, it's another idea that I've been floating around. What do I do next? And what makes sense for me and what sounds fun. So I've got a couple ideas like that. I've got like a dark fantasy Elden Ring sort of idea that I've been playing around with. This Hulk idea, and it would be like more of a true horror comic, which I would like to do. And speaking of the dark fantasy, I started reading Berserk. Because apparently it's a big influence. Well, not apparently, it is a big influence on the Dark Souls, Elden Ring's creator. And it very much is, now that I've been reading it. And that is some dark stuff. I was not prepared. I was like, this came out in the 1980s. It is bleak, but it's very good. My first experience with the manga. So I got the first 3 deluxe volumes. I got the first one, and then I immediately went online and purchased the next 2 after I started reading it. I was like, this is really good. So I'm excited to work my way through that story. It's inspiring in its own way. It also made me think about doing full page splashes again, because there's some awesome full page splashes in that comic. Really well done, really well rendered, nice cross hatching. It's a good comic. So if you're looking for a good comic to read and you haven't heard of Berserk, I highly recommend it. I'm not the biggest manga fan. Like I appreciate good manga, and there is great manga out there. I just don't read it often enough. And this one is really worth your time. So anyway, yeah, that's it for now. We'll talk next week. Okay. Thanks. Bye.